So hi, good day everyone. So before we start our new lesson for today, let me introduce myself. So I am Angel Brian Namoran, and together with my partner Angeline Oyao, we are going to discuss lesson 13 entitled LGBT Psychology. So for today's agenda, first we will discuss LGBT history and relevant LGBT terms. And second, we are going to explain the importance of these terms. So, for the definition of terms, we have LGBT. So, what is LGBT? So, L stands for lesbian, G stands for gay, B stands for bisexual, and T stands for transgender. Yes, that's right. So, LGBT is an acronym used to refer to different genders. So, when we say lesbian, so lesbian, the word lesbian is not new to us, right? So when we say lesbian, these are women who are emotionally and sexually attracted to women. So in our language, we call them tomboy, right? And when we say gay, these are men who are emotionally and sexually attracted to men. So we call them bayot or bakla in Tagalog. So when we say bisexual, these are men or women who are emotionally and sexually attracted to men or women. Yeah, so bisexuals are attracted to both genders, men and women. So when we say transgender, it is when your gender identity or how you feel is different from your physical sex, your the female and male. Okay, so after the surgery, so transgender people tend to undergo a certain surgery to change their physical features, right? So, thus this famous phrase that go, I am a man trapped in a woman's body. Yeah, so that's what transgender feels like. Now we go on to the introduction. So labels can be very powerful. They can be used to discriminate and hurt people, like how the Nazis used the term Aryan race to say they were superior. No, because before the Nazis called has these terms Aryan race. So these are the people who has blonde hair, fair skin, blue eyes. So these are people who are considered superior at that time, and they call people that are Jews and homosexuals as inferior. So as we can see, labels can really be discriminating people and hurt other people's feelings. So we need to see or to be sensitive enough to watch our words, because it hurts more than a knife, as they say. So on the other hand, though, labels can also help people feel strong and recognized, especially in politics. Yes. So using respectful terms like people with disabilities instead of disabled, or African American instead of black, shows respect and helps avoid offense. Yes. So we need to find a word that can lessen the sensitivity of the word, thus using euphemism, right? So next, we have here the views on LGBT in history. So throughout history, people have recognized same-sex attraction in different cultures using terms like pleasures of the bidden peach in China and kataway for transgender in Thailand. So attitudes toward homosexuality have changed, with some cultures accepting it, while others, especially those influenced by Abrahamic religions, condemned it and caused harm to LGBTQ plus individuals. No, so before, this is not new to us, because before, the LGBTQ plus community are not totally accepted. Yes, they are not accepted. They are banned from expressing themselves, and even that issue na gays are not able or not allowed to enter the female bathroom, right? Yes, that's also an issue before. So like before, you are really, if you identify not a female or the male standard in the accepted standard in the community, then you are a sinner. So that's how they view LGBTQ plus communities before. So in the 1800s, homosexuality was wrongly seen as a mental illness. So leading to legal punishments for many people, including Alan Turing. Yeah, so Alan Turing back then in the 1800s, he was arrested because he was in a relationship with also a male person. So he was arrested and was tortured because people see or saw him as a mental ill people or a mental ill person. So, however, in 1973, the American Psychological Association, or the APA, declared that homosexuality is not a mental disorder and is a normal part of human experience. No? So, just like when you were a girl or a boy, you experience things. No? As you grow up, you experience normal things, natural things, typical things of what a girl or a boy should do. Same goes to the different genders, different existing genders now. So a man who feels like a woman can act like a woman, or a woman who feels like a man can act like a man. Yes. So today, as society becomes more accepting, new terms and labels are being used to represent the diverse identities within the LGBTQ plus community. So to be able to address people accordingly or respectfully, we now have different names or pronouns to be used with people of different genders. So now, here are the ABCs of the LGBTQ plus LGBTQIA+. So to enhance visibility and inclusion, new letters have been added to the LGBT acronym. So the term homosexual is seen as too clinical and doesn't represent the community's diversity. So as labels change, some may be familiar and others new. So it is important to explain these simply. So lesbian, as I've said a while ago, these are women who are emotionally and sexually attracted to women. Gay, these are men who are emotionally and sexually attracted to men. Bisexual, these are men or women who are emotionally and sexually attracted to men and women. So when we say transgender, it is when your gender identity or how you feel is different from your physical sex. So when we say queer, so this is used by people who celebrate all gender identities, can also mean someone who do not want to be restricted as lesbian, gay, or bi. So when we say queer, these are people who are attracted to different genders. No, it is not limited to only male, female, gay, lesbian, bi. So they are attracted to different genders. So when we say intersex, these are people who were born with sex, genitals, or chromosome patterns that do not fit the typical male or female body. So when we say intersex people, these are people who have the two private organs of both female and male. So we have another one, we have asexual. So when we say asexual, these are people who do not feel sexual attraction to anyone. No, they do not feel sexual desires towards someone. But it does not mean that they do not engage in romantic or sexual relationships. They are still engaging in a romantic or sexual relationship, but they tend to be less they tend to have less attention, no, to these sexual activities. They have less desires than those who are normal. Also, when we say allies, these are straight or heterosexual people who are fighting for LGBT rights. So those are the people who are straight and those who supports the LGBT community. So when we say plus, the plus sign refers to all sexualities that do not fit into LGBTQ plus spectrum. So napa na siya mga nagkadaghang genders. So knowledge of human sexuality is still evolving. So there are many terms that pop up. So here are a few more to help us more inclusive. So we have here androgynous. So these are people whose gender expression or their physical appearance may or may not be distinctly male or female. No? So, for example, kabantay mo ni Harry Styles, di ba? He is a man, but he dressed like a woman, and sometimes he dressed like a man. So, like, it's kind of like confusing, di ba? So that is what we call androgynous. So when we say gender, so this is your internal sense of being masculine or feminine or neither. No, so this is your internal feeling of who you are. So when we say gender identity, it is how you feel, man, woman, or neither. Gender identity. It is very understandable. So let us move on to the gender expression. So gender expression is how you express your sense of being male or female or neither, maybe through hairstyle, clothes, etc. So for example, me as a woman, I color my nails, I comb my hair, I put makeup on. So that is how I express my gender or my sex. And also when we say sexual orientation, so it is your emotional and sexual attraction to a person. Yes, so for example, I'm a woman. I am a woman. So I am sexually attracted to a man. So that is my sexual orientation. So when we say sex assigned at birth, so this is the given sex when we were born based on your sex organ. So the day that we are born, right? We only have two sexes, so these are male and female. So the day we are born, we have our physical features. We have our private organs that can identify what sex we are. What sex are we, rather? So cisgender. So cisgender, it is when your gender identity matches with the sex you are assigned at birth. So these are straight people, in a general sense, no? Non-binary, so these are people who do not feel like a boy or a girl. They may feel like they are both or neither. So sometimes they use the pronouns they, them, and theirs. No? So they are not a female, they are not a male. So we have to address them as them or they when talking to them as a sign of respect. So for the next slide, we have understanding transgenderism. This is gonna be explained by Miss Angeline Uyao. I hope you learned something from me. Thank you so much.